Well, the new one was Walk the Path, wasn't it? All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Reminder, there are no recordings during the press conference. Cell phones and electronic devices need to be silenced, and make sure to give your name and affiliation when you get the mic to ask a question. We're joined by Stanford head coach Jessica Allister and players Jade Berry and Ava Gall. Nigel Kennedy can't be here because she's getting medical treatment, FYI. We'll start with a statement from Coach Allister, go to questions just for the players. The players will leave, and then we'll go to questions just for Coach Allister. So if you have an opening statement, go ahead.
Yeah, she's with our athletic trainer. Hey, medical treatment sounded extreme. Just really proud of the team today. Really, really proud of the way we came back. Not surprised. You know, we've been resilient all year. We've been really resilient in the postseason. We've played really well in elimination games, and we've pushed back. So proud of the way we came out today. I told the team at the end of the game, you know, I pick that team every time. I love the team that we were in the dugout. I love the team that we were on the field, and just really couldn't be more proud of the way that we came out today. And, you know, happy to get to stay in Oklahoma City for a couple more days.
Questions for the players? All right, we'll go second row to the right. Scott.
Scott Wright with the Oklahoman. Ava, I want to start with you, but Jade, I'd also like your input. Obviously, Ava, you had the big home run that got things started. What did y'all see from Lexi Kilfoyle early that allowed you to have some success? And Jade, if you'd follow up on that as well.
Yeah, I mean, Lexi Kilfoyle, she's a great pitcher. You know, she's hitting spots, and that first pitch, she, you know, just threw it on a perfect lane. Then that next one, it was a changeup that she just hung, and my eyes got big, and I went for it. And I mean, all of the at bats prior to that, we were battling, we were fouling them off, and that's just kind of what I knew, that we were eventually going to get on her. It just took one swing. You know, we needed one swing, and that's eventually what happened. And if you look from there on out, we were scoring. So I think it was just from the very beginning, Taryn's walk, that's really what set it, and just working up her pitch count.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody had good at-bats from the beginning. Terrence setting off, like Ava said, and Ava's one swing really set us all and got us motivated to start being more aggressive, and I think eventually they all started falling too. So.
All right, we'll go front row left.
Brady Vernon, Softball America. The tone in here last night was that you guys were just going to be better. And just kind of what were the conversations going into today, just setting that tone that we're kind of talking about?
We were, like you were said, we're kind of flat yesterday, and we needed to play with some heart because heart is contagious, and it is hard to beat a team that has just a ton of heart and a ton of pride in the name on their jersey. So that's kind of what the message was coming into today. And knowing how we played in regionals and super regionals, we had to take that same energy and that same confidence and just apply it and play for each other, play for Stanford.
I think we came out really fired. I think that we all had the energy in the dugout. It was awesome to be there. I mean, this is a crazy atmosphere, and just being here is cool. And I think that we came really fired up today. So.
More questions for the players? Go second row right to Scott again.
This time we'll go Jade and then Ava. But obviously, we'd like to talk to your pitcher, but she's got other more important things to take care of. But what does it mean for y'all to see her? I'm sure nothing she does surprises you anymore at this point, but to see her take the ball second day in a row and come back and fight the way she did.
Nyjah motivates me so much. I mean, she's an amazing player. I think she's the greatest of all time, and she's just a stud. And so playing behind her is so easy, so fun, because she motivates us because she's so good. And just seeing her lead our team in the circle, it's pretty amazing because she's a stud, And I think we all feed off of that for our at-bats. We want to do good for each other, and we want to do good for her. So.
Yeah, I mean, it fires us up. Every time she just strikes someone's out, goes 3 up, 3 down. It's huge, and it just really helps with momentum, and it really helps us offense, put runs up for Nyjah, make it easier for Nyjah, do it for us. So, after that home run, I came in, give her a hug, and I was like, this is for you, we're hitting, we're doing for you. You keep on doing your job, and we'll do our job. And it's just that trust on both sides of the ball that is just, it's such a good dynamic.
More questions for the players? Okay, we'll go front row right.
Tyler Waldrop, Tulsa World. Just to sort of pick up on momentum and just the way she pitches, can y'all get a sense of just the way she spins it? Maybe the other team kind of getting frustrated at times, and do y'all feed off that? And did y'all notice that in this one?
Oh, I definitely feed off of it. I mean, I think there's multiple times where she gets so fired up. I can bring up many off the top of my head, like the Washington game when she struck a girl out and we just went out crazy because that was such a. She feeds off of it, we feed off of it, and I mean the energy is just contagious when it happens. And she has her stomps, and that really gets us going too. So.
I think it's really deflating when you're the other team and a pitcher's just mowing every single girl down. So that just kind of puts confidence in us that she just has to do her job, we'll do ours, and it's fun. It's fun, and we can definitely feel it when that energy starts to shift.
All right, we'll go front row left, Tim.
Tim Willard, San Jose Mercury News. Talk a little bit about how important it was to get your pitcher some run support tonight. I mean, she pitched well enough to win last night, and you guys couldn't put any runs up on the board. And then it's you got a bunch of them tonight.
Yeah, well, I mean, the lower the pitch count for her, the better it is for her. And the fact that we were able to get 8 runs in 6 innings, that saves another inning of who knows what. So just giving her some run support puts less stress on her, knowing that she gets to throw her game. She just has to go right at the batters. She doesn't have to pitch as, I guess, fearful of, giving up a game tying or game winning hit.
Yeah, Nyjah's a stud no matter what, and I think that when we hit for her, she gets more confident, goes right at the batters. I mean, she already does that when there's not runs on the board, but I think she's pretty cool to watch and just play behind. But even if we don't have any runs on the board, she's going right at the batter. She's a goat. So.
All right, that'll wrap things up for players. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions for Coach Allister?
Just for those two that kind of set the tone offensively as freshmen against a really good pitcher, what has that kind of seen for their development this season?
They're wonderful. And, I like sitting up here and listening to them talk too. They're really good hitters, and they've been really good hitters all year. And obviously they've kind of managed the ups and downs that go with hitting at this level, but they can swing it. And I think we played, a really tough schedule all year. And I think they're realizing now that there's no pitching that they haven't seen. So I think drawing confidence from that and drawing confidence from competing on these different stages in the big moments and having success in those moments. So, they've been a big piece of our offense this year, and it's good to see them shine.
All right, we'll stay on the front row left. Tim again.
Coach, how were you able to break through tonight against, you faced a good pitcher last night, you faced a good pitcher again tonight,
Yeah.
two totally different results.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a couple things. I just, I'll stick by what I said yesterday. That wasn't us. And sometimes that happens. But I think today we were just, we were more aggressive. We were more assertive. We played Stanford softball. And yesterday we just felt like we were almost paralyzed just a little bit. And I don't know what that's, I don't know where that comes from. I even thought today, it felt a little bit different, like getting going in the stadium. It was weird yesterday. You're warming up. There's not a fan in the stands. You go through the intros, like there's nobody in the stands. You start the first pitch, there's nobody in the stands. Like that's weird. And I don't know that it's necessarily how we want to play softball games, at the World Series. So like, that's not an excuse by any stretch, but just the whole thing felt off. And today just felt more comfortable, more competitive, and we were a completely different ball club. But I think it's in our approach.
All right, we'll go to front row right now.
Tyler Waldrop, Tulsa World. In your experience at this stage, when freshmen and sophomores come in, maybe
Yeah.
their first time or their first meaningful time at this stage, and they play well, how does that help them not just for the rest of the week, but also just in the off season and the rest of their development going forward?
Well, I think there's a lot of confidence that's gained. And I guess, double down on what I've talked about before. Once you get here and you compete here and you realize that the margins are so small for a team, I think that happens for players too. And when you realize, I can really do it and I can be successful at this level and I can be successful against this competition, I think it does drive the off-season work. Just, you get a little bit of a taste of it, you have that little bit of carrot and you just want more. So I think it's really important.
All right, we'll go front row left now.
Emily kind of put on a show in center field tonight. Just how cool has it been to see her kind of take over for Taylor, who was there for so long, for so long?
Yeah, I think there's a couple pieces there. I think the first piece is we see Jones do that in practice all of the time. And sometimes with outfield, you don't get to see the great plays all the time because it takes kind of the perfect ball. But nothing that she does out there surprises us because we see it in practice every day. But to see her make the transition from the infield to the outfield and just continue to get better as the year goes on, she's a really, really, really good outfielder. And after that change at second base on the early, not leaving early, and then coming out and making those two great catches, she had a good second half of that game right there.
All right, we'll go front row left to Joe.
Joe Masato, the Oklahoman. It looked like Nyjah pitched the ball off her knee on the follow through. Can you give us any update on her status?
Yeah, she threw it off her knee. You are correct. And she, she's tired. Like she's thrown a lot, and we've asked her to do a lot over the last couple of weeks. And I think you could see that at the end, and just the performance that Nyjah put on tonight when she is tired. And pitchers at this time of the year, there's a physical aspect to it, and just to see her kind of battle through that was. It's one of the best performances that I've seen. Absolutely unbelievable. I don't know. I couldn't be more proud of the work that she did. And, we had conversations with her. I'm being completely transparent this morning. Like, are you good to go? We've asked a lot of you. She said, yeah, coach, I want the ball. And I think that speaks to her as a competitor. And then to come out and have the performance that she had, I can't say enough about just what that means for the team and what she did today.
Do you expect her to be good to go Sunday?
We'll find out, right? And, it's late. It's almost midnight, I think, probably. Got a day off tomorrow, which is going to be important. And we'll have those conversations as we go. But we'll worry about that tomorrow.
All right, we have one last question from Zoom from Eric Lopez.
Eric Lopez, D1 softball coach. This is another elimination game where you played really well, your best. You just went through this against LSU twice and Fullerton. Do you think that helped your younger players prepare tonight, that they've been through this before?
I think absolutely. I think there's a confidence drawn from playing with your back against the wall and digging in and competing instead of going into a little bit of oh no panic mode. And I think you saw that play out today.
All right, that'll wrap things up for Stanford.
Great. Thank you.
They switched. Right, look though. Right, but look. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. A reminder, no recordings during the press conference. Please make sure to silence cell phones and electronic devices and to give your name and affiliation. When you get the mic to ask a question, we're joined by Oklahoma State head coach Kenny Gajewski and players Caroline Wong and Jillian Poulard. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach Gajewski, go to questions for players. Players will leave, and then we'll go to questions just for Coach Gajewski. So go ahead if you'd like to do an opening statement.
All right. Well, obviously, it's not where we wanted to be tonight. We wanted to be the first team inside this room. That didn't happen. Credit Stanford. What Jess has done there has been really good. It's been an incredible turnaround for her in her short time there. She's really good. She's won everywhere she's been. So credit them. They made things happen here tonight against one of the best pitchers in the country. I didn't think Lexi was particularly sharp, but they still took advantage of that, and that's what good teams do. That's why they'll advance. So I'm just really proud of this group. I'm just really proud. I just, especially like kids like these two guys here that have come in here for 1 year and just totally just took to the Cowgirl way, took to Stillwater, to Oklahoma State. It's probably the most satisfaction that I could have personally, that they played their last game here, but I know that these guys will be a staple here for a long time. They'll be talked about for a long time. They earn that. And that's the best part of this. I'm excited for their futures. all the seniors, and we've got a senior manager that won't be back, and I'm just excited for all of them because I think they're more ready than when they got here to take the next step in life, and in the very end, that's what we're here to do. So,
All right, we'll open it up for questions for the players. Go third row on the right.
Ryan Breeden, Stillwater News Press. For both Jill and Carol, as you reflect on this year, your 1 year in Stillwater, you make it to the World Series. For both of you individually, what does that reflection look like? What stands out to both of you most?
I never thought I'd be in the place to say I wasn't ready to be done. But I think when you play for this type of program, you can never be ready.
Jillian, do you have anything?
I agree. When I left the place I was at, I thought I was ready to hang up my cleats. I was perfectly fine with never playing a game of softball again, and I prayed on it, and I just knew that. I mean, after all the hard work that I put into this game, I deserved to in my career, in my own way, in the way that I would be proud of. And ever since I've been here, the end has just been so dreaded. But at some point, it was going to come. Unfortunately, that was tonight. But I couldn't be more blessed to be a part of this team, Team 9. I couldn't be more blessed. It's been such a blessing. Everything about it, every single one of these girls, Coach G, will forever have an impact on my life. And I'll never forget it.
More questions for the players? Go to front row right.
Tyler Waldrop, Tulsa World, just for both of you, what's it like to hear your coach say that, y'all were only here for 1 year, but what you did is going to outlive you, that this is something he'll remember, that this is something your teammates will remember, that, y'all didn't, it's going to maybe feel like you were here for a lot longer.
I mean, it's great to hear that, that's what everybody wants, but we've, Coach G is very clear and open about it, and that's something that we've talked about for a long time. There's nothing that could be said here tonight that he hasn't already told us and lived out for us.
One thing Coach G told me yesterday is it's already written, and there's nothing more that you can do. There's nothing less that you can do. It's already written. You're already prepared, and although I didn't have a hit in this tournament, I didn't get on base this tournament, that was something that really stuck with me, and I'll never forget that. I plan to go on and coach, and that's something that I'm definitely going to use. But, I mean, obviously when you go out, kind of like tonight, all that's on your immediate conscious is, what could we have done better? And, I mean, the list kind of goes on there. But just to know, and just that it's still reiterated the value that we provided to this team, to this program, and coming from, the man himself saying that it'll never be forgotten, it's huge, and it kind of lifts you up for a bit.
Right, we'll go to second row on the right, Scott.
Scott Wright with the Oklahoman. Caroline and Jill, if you'd like to chip in on this one, I appreciate that as well. But Caroline, because you worked so closely with Lexi Kilfoyle all season, I realize this is a big, broad question and probably tough to answer, but what has she meant to this team this year?
I mean, Lexi is a leader, honestly, I haven't seen before, and I'm not sure that anyone watching the games from the outside could see it either, the person that she is to this team. Honestly, just a rock. She's steady, and even on her worst days, she's that, and everyone looks to her. That's something I've admired about her from the start, There's really talented people, but, Lexi obviously is that, but she has obviously the best interest of the team in mind. If it's not her pitching, then it's not. And she's the best teammate when she's not pitching, the same as she is when she's on the field.
I agree with what Caroline said about Lexi being a rock. I also have never seen someone who can lead with such poise and, in a sense, just so effortlessly, always being a player who is super passionate about everything and who's kind of loud and, animated a bit. That's always been my method of leadership in a sense, just kind of trying to spark something for my teammates. But her calmness and it's kind of, you can see it as being stoic, or even sometimes like, does she even care? But she cares the absolute most, and there's no doubt about that. And you can ask any girl on this team, like Lexi's heart is always there. It's always in it. Although she doesn't show a whole lot of emotion, she is the rock of this team. And well, was, but that's something that I always admire about her. She's always steady, and you know that if she does speak up, like, it's time to get it together. And that's something that will always hold a lot of weight. And I agree. I just love the presence that she has and the way that she can use that in her leadership. It's awesome.
All right, this will be our last player question. Front row right.
Parker Gerald, DO College. Julian, I heard you a second ago say you're going to go into coaching. I was just curious if playing under Kenny and kind of the impact he had on you, if that kind of inspired you to want to go into coaching, or if that was something you already planned on doing before you came to Oklahoma State.
A bit of both. I've always just had a lot of love for the game and a lot of passion, and playing under someone who kind of took that away from me just lit my fire even more to want to just put the love back into, kids, put the love back into the game for them. And coming here, Coach G has really showed me how to do that. I kind of had my own ideas of how I kind of wanted to do that and methods and things like that, but I never actually saw it done, especially not in the last 4 years. But the way that Coach G loves us, not only when we do well and not only when we're on the field, but he loves each and every one of us as people. And I think that shows, and that's the cowgirl way. It's not just when someone's doing good that you're excited for them and that you're loving them. He loves us so much, and that's something that I've always admired about him. So kind of both, a bit of both.
All right, that'll do it for players. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Careful, Joe.
All right, questions for Coach Gajewski now? Okay, we'll go third row on the right.
Yeah, Kenny, the emotion from Carol and Jill and hearing the things they had to say about what they took away from this year, what does that mean to you to see that emotion from them and to hear the things they had to say?
Yeah, I mean, it's why you coach. I mean, it's why you hope to have an impact on these guys. We say a lot of things, but we try to we work really hard to follow through and be intentful with the things that we do and we talk about, and I mean, it's nice. I wish we weren't having this talk right now, to be honest. That's the hardest part, is that I wasn't ready to have it at this point. So it feels good, but doesn't make the loss feel any better at this point.
And then for Lexi, after the game was over, you went over there and you kind of had a moment with her. What was that like from your perspective?
Yeah, if any of you have ever been an ace, then you can have perspective of her. If you haven't, you have zero idea what that's like. The things that she shoulders here, the things that her parents shoulder here. When the ball's in your kid's hand every pitch, it's tough. And I probably have never seen her be as emotional as I saw her tonight. I could see it early on when she gave up the home run. I saw a look on her face and I was like, I don't like it. I was worried, I just was worried for her. And I think it's just you feel things slipping away, even though it was early in the game. We just, after last night, I knew it was going to be a tough one to come back from. So I just could give her a hug, and I kind of got on her a bit because she kind of she disappeared for a bit, and I just said, hey, you need, your teammates need you out here. They need you. I mean, you've earned that. You've earned everything that you get. And I need you out here. Your teammates need you out here. So I just wanted to reinforce to her how important that she is to us. That when I talk to a lot of kids and they always tell me that I want to be the ace until it gets hard. And she never ran from hard. She just embraced hard. So I just wanted to remind her that we appreciate that, and it's not over yet. So you got to keep embracing the hard.
All right, we had a second round on the left, Myron.
Myron Patton, OKC Sports Radio. A couple things, kind of hit on that. Lexi, did you kind of feel like snake bit though in the third inning? Had a couple of seeing eye singles, and then actually three, I guess, one by third base, where they just kind of in the right spot for them, wrong spot for you, that led to a couple of runs there for you that put it in a bad situation.
I do. It's just a little bit of bad luck, a little bit of Stanford just doing what they needed to do. It's the way our game works. This field is like really hard, so you see a lot of balls that chop in the air high, and they had a hit that kind of bounced over us. They had a couple that found their way through, a ball off Talon's glove. There's so many deflections, but it's the way it's played. That's why you played this game, and I don't want to take anything away from Stanford. They earned this thing, and they earned the win. And but there was a lot of little things that just didn't go our way. It's tough. I just feel like it's happened to us multiple times here, and we just got to find a way. It's my job to help find a way. I felt a little bit helpless here tonight, to be very honest. No matter what I tried or did, it just didn't work. So it's just part of it. It's the way it's the way this game works.
Also, offensively, two good pitchers, two back-to-back nights, or was it something just you guys couldn't get any hits this week?
Yeah, I think a little bit of both. I thought that Rothrock last night, we talked about that, was really good. It was deceptively good. Tonight, I thought we had a pretty good offensive performance here tonight. We didn't score any runs. We had 3 hits. The hardest balls we hit were caught. We hit multiple balls hard. Talon Edwards has no hits and had 3 balls that were hit well. Jillian had the last one that scorched. We had multiple opportunities. We just couldn't make little things happen. So, that's on me. I just didn't have answers, and I didn't have enough to help Vanessa. So, I'll be very honest. This is why I made a change in December with our hitting spot. I felt like we needed to make a change. We needed to there's something that was just not quite there. It wasn't an easy move. We made that move, and I have the right person in the spot. I just put her in a terrible place. I didn't give her any opportunity in the fall to install the system, instill the toughness that it takes to win here. She has that, I just put her in a tough spot, and that's what I told her tonight. I said, "Hey, I put you in a really bad spot, and you killed it. We just ran out of gas, and we got a lot of these young kids that are going to be right back in here. We have a nucleus of kids. We got a couple of freshmen that are coming in, and we're already busy in the portal to help us out. And she'll get a full year now under her belt, or a half year, a great season. We get to OKC, and now she can build off this and really go back to square one, and she'll get us through this. That's why I got her here.
This will be our last one because of time. We'll go front row right.
Tyler Waldrop, Tulsa World. To hear Caroline and Jill talk about when they got here, in one's case, kind of already being ready to be done playing, and in another case, kind of just happy that she had one more year but not wanting more, and to hear them talk about how they started to dread that this day would come, and I've talked to some of your other players that expressed similar emotions when they arrived here, whether it was this year or last year. They kind of had fallen out of love with the sport, but they found that love again. What's that like to watch players show up with that kind of attitude towards softball, and then to watch them, just rediscover what it's like to maybe be a kid and fall back in love with it and dread this day?
I mean, it's really cool. I think what's happening is we're starting to show that Oklahoma State is a destination place. It's a destination job. It's a destination for years. It's been a hard road for us to attract young 5-star type, however you want to rate this stuff, because we don't have the glitz and the glamour that some things have. But what you're seeing is mature kids who I would think they would probably say, I wish I'd have started here. And I think we're starting to turn that tide. We're starting to change the story about what we have that's so special. It's still about people. It's not about anything else. It's about people. And what our administration has let me do is create and build a staff of great people that these kids can start to trust again and start to just get back to that 8-year-old self that loves this game. And we talk about it a lot. We just talk about, hey, this is not who you are. It's just what you do. You're just good enough to play here. But we wanted you because we felt like you could help us and we could help you. And that won't change. And it feels good because I think we're on the right road. And like I told them, this is supposed to hurt. It's supposed to hurt. Anything good in life probably had some hurt. And they're going to be able to look back on this in about a day, because life just keeps going. It doesn't just stop. It just keeps going as long as you wake up. It keeps going, and I feel like we have a place that they can grow and create these moments and these memories that are going to last a lifetime. And it's a forever thing that I think they're falling in love with that. And the more kids we have like this, that are able to tell this story, because we're able to get here and we have this opportunity to sit in front of all of you and you guys write these great things about them. I think it's what makes us all proud. And I'm just glad that I get to be a part of it, a small part of it. And I'm glad that I have a staff that has my back every single day. So it gives me the opportunity to be the best me, the most authentic me. It's not always perfect, but it's real. And I think that's what these kids love with all of us, is we're going to give them our best, and we're not going to shy away from the truth. We're going to tell them the truth, even when it hurts. And so feels good.
All right. That'll wrap things up. Thank you.